Hello, and welcome to the National Parents Union. I am Kelley Williams-Bolar, and this is The Parent Effect. Today, I'm so excited. I have a longtime friend. Her name is Monique Lisa. Are you there, Monique? Let me see. Pull her out. Let's see if we... Like I said, pull her out. I meant like show her.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. What an intro. Thank you.
Okay, I might pull her out. I meant, like show. Woo! It's been a long day for me. Very long day.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, so good to see you too. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. When was that? Like, how long ago?
2011, I think, was the last time I saw you in person. We've spoken several times since then, but 2011, I think.
2011.
Or 12.
Or 12.
Yeah.
Because the one time we were in New York, and I think that's the first time I met you.
Yes.
We were at a function because the
Chamber of
mayor was...
Commerce. Westchester Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you were the keynote.
Yes. That was so phenomenal to have that experience and to be there. We took a picture together. I gotta find that picture. I know I got it somewhere.
Please do.
And and then after that, I think I had to go to New York for something, or Jersey for something.
Yes, that was another dinner, and it was I don't know if it was Toastmasters or a Rotary Club. I'm not sure which one it was, but you were also speaking, and it was also like an awards dinner.
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. I mean, you know what? You've done so much that sometimes everything just runs together and you don't even know what you're doing anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it was good.
I'm so honored and blessed and just grateful that you are on today. I hope this half an hour brings a lot of great information for our viewers. I want the people to know who is Monique Lisa. I definitely know, but I just want some people to know right off the rip, who you are, like your mom, just talk about your family, not,
Sure.
just whatever you like.
Well, again, my name is Monique Lisa. I'm a writer, director, and producer of stage, film, and books. When I first met you, Kelley, I was coming from my first win for Play of the Year in North Carolina. So I was kind of still on that high of that win when we first connected. And my career as a writer started when I was 7. I really fell in love with the books 101 Dalmatians, and I read that on a Saturday morning at age 7 for 6 hours, and that kind of sparked my love and my interest for reading. And I did my first stage play at the age of 7. I decided to charge everyone 5 cents and to write a nice little cheesy play and get a shower curtain and put it up in my backyard and set up seats. So I've been a playwright since I was 7. So now that I'm years old, I've been doing it for over 30 years. I've been doing production, but it wasn't until the end of 2008 that I started doing my own productions, because prior to that, I did everyone else's, the church plays, the high school, the college plays. If someone had a local play group, I was doing choreography, was doing some stage direction, stage management, anything that had to do with helping out with the production. But finally, I kind of put my foot down, coming back from vacation with my family. And I said, you know what, I need to stop doing everybody else's productions and I need to do my own. But the last production I had done with someone was the famous Samuel E. Wright. He is the original Mufasa on Broadway for Lion King. And he also was the voice of Rafiki in the movie. And he also played Sebastian, the original voice of Sebastian, which he did win a Grammy for in The Little Mermaid. So he was Rafiki, the voice of Rafiki for Broadway, and he played the dad, the physical character, the dad. So his play I did, called The Grapes of Wrath. I went into audition just to do like a little extra part because I was excited to just kind of like work with him and be under his tutelage. He ended up giving me the lead role, which some people would be ecstatic, but I came in to do one line. And if anyone knows the play Grapes of Wrath, it was close the door, don't let the flies in, And that was it. I was super excited. I was like, this is the role for me. Ended up having to learn 33 pages of lines,
Ooh,
playing one of the lead characters. And
amazing.
I think for me, it was really like, I love being behind the scenes. I love running things. That's just the natural boss lady in me. I just love being able to direct. So I got my degree in directing. I also got a bachelor's in interpersonal communications amongst cultures. It's a tongue twister, so it's one of those things I don't say often. But I got my directing degree. I minored in directing. And so I've been directing theater, directing film, doing radio. So I've stayed in the arts. You know, I came up in a time where I did ballet for 19 years, you know, as a ballet dancer, danced all throughout the, you know, teen years and early 20s. And for me, I still stuck with the arts. Raised my two kids, homeschooled them. That's why I love the fact that this is the National Parents, this organization, because I'm an advocate for kids. I brought up kids to love the arts. I taught ballet, I taught jazz, taught hip hop, acting to kids. So I've always had them in my production. My youngest was 7 at the time, and now she's 20. The first person who ever, you know, introduced her to the arts was me. So I kind of love that. My kids are graduates of the American Music and Dramatic Arts Academy with BFAs in Los Angeles, California. So everything's been the arts. That's been the life, you know.
See how it started, but see, and it started with you and literacy, and you know, because I mean, 101 Dalmatians. That's a lot of reading. That's a thick book. It took you several hours, but see, that's how as a parent, when your people, your family watched you be so engaged and kept turning that book. Right then, Spark should have been showing like, wait a minute, this is something different. This is something special. This is something that she's going to want to be more, you know, more into, you know, and so it makes such a big, that moment changed your whole life.
It did.
You
And
know?
I didn't even realize I was, you know, creating this love for reading. It just felt natural. It was like, you know, even now, I don't read less than 5 books a day, like every day. Even if I just read a chapter, I read a page, it doesn't matter. I have a stack of books that I look at because I know that if I'm reading, it's inspiring me. It's sparking my creativity. It's helping me. It's directing me. And words are like music to me.
Yeah.
Some people hear music and they hear the singers and they can break apart the different, you know, soprano who's a words are like that with me. When I read, it's orchestration.
Wow.
So when I read, I really feel the words. So when I'm reading something and I know that it's not really, it's kind of thrown together, I kind of feel it. And I know, okay, not a lot was put into the thought of this piece. So I'm very critical of it, and not to the point where I hurt someone's feelings, but I'll say, no, okay, I'm not going to read that.
Right.
Because
that. You know, they didn't put enough emotion or energy, or, you know, however you want to say it, the language. You look at the language of different, it's an art. It is an art book,
really
right?
is.
It's an
It
art.
really is.
So you look at that and you say, well, and I never thought of it as that. But it is like because you said that. Yes, absolutely. I agree 100. But I'm just thinking, okay, so writing, when one writes, I wrote a book. Lord knows I might put too much emotion in it, because at that time I was falling to pieces, and it was like I could just put everything into that book.
Right.
But right now, if I was to go to write a book about something, I'm not going to give it that 100 or, you know, whatever, because I don't feel it like I did that when I was writing my autobiography. I felt that.
And that was the best time for you to write. Yeah, that was the best time for you to write, because you were able to purge. Because I tell people all the time, the story that you're afraid to tell is the one that's going to set you free.
Yes.
You know, it's true, you know, transparency. And that's one of the things that I teach in writing: true vulnerability and true transparency. Because you know, when you it's just like a song. And someone sings a song and they don't move you, they might sound nice, but they didn't move you. So you're not going to really remember their gestures, their inflections, their tone. It was
Mm-hmm.
just a song. But now you take Aretha Franklin, or you
Mm-hmm.
take Gladys Knight, or you take Patti LaBelle, or you take
Yes.
Denise Williams, you can name them, and
Mm-hmm.
their songs move you. My most favorite singer of all times was Minnie Riperton.
Yes.
And I mean, I loved her. My
Me too.
initials are the same as hers. My daughter's, it's so funny because my daughter wasn't named after her daughter, but my daughter's nickname is Maya. So
Oh,
it's like Minnie moved me. And, you know, I think Maya Angelou said it best. She said, people may not remember what you said or what you've done, but they always remember how you made them feel.
absolutely.
You know, so
Absolutely.
I'm
You make them feel
absolutely.
good, they won't forget. You know, because even now, okay, so my daughter, you know, she works for National Parents Union, and so she had the opportunity to meet you, and she
Yes.
was, and so as she was talking to me not too long ago before we became live, she was just fussing at me. You didn't tell me about. I'm like, I did tell you, because, and I told her, I said, and you were over in the waiting room, so I don't know if you probably didn't hear me, but I told my daughter, I said, let me tell you something. I said, we've only seen each other on a couple of occasions. I have, you know, connected on, you know, called you, emailed you, but the time that I spent with you that day that we rode, we had to go somewhere, and I
Mm-hmm.
think you showed me where you lived, and we went there. But just in that little bit of time, you taught me so much.
Oh,
When you were like, oh,
wow.
you were like, okay, so one, you was like, you got to keep all receipts, and you were just saying different things, and I was like, okay, because I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking, I was,
Yeah.
she's right. And you just was just telling me how to be organized, how to do this, how to do that. And this is important in this field. And I don't,
Right.
you know,
Right.
go
Right.
on and so forth. But those were so important. The way you transferred all of that information over to me, I received it.
Right.
Somebody else could have said the same, someone else could have said it, and I would not have received it
Right.
in the
Right.
same manner. I
Right.
don't know why, but we all do that. You know, like someone can tell you something all day long, and then someone else come and say it. And you're like, did you hear what she said? And that person's like, what? I've been saying this for years, and you never
Right.
listen.
Right. Right. Right.
Well,
Right.
that was me at that moment, that particular time, when you had said whatever, you know, some things that you had said. You know, every so often I'd be like, oh yeah, she said that. Yeah, I got to remember
Right.
doing that. You know.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
now, what is the name of your what you're doing now when you're helping people to write and
Right. Okay. Well, the course, I created a course, and part of the reason why I created the course is because of the time that we're in. Um, the platform for online learning shot up like by $356 million. Udemy, which is one of the main platforms where people are able to get courses fairly reasonable, they just shot up. Why? Because we were all home. And with
mm-hmm.
us home, the people who understood that this was a time for us to really gather knowledge, you know, to understand the climate that we're living in, um, all of the online courses, they just started buying them up. I was already in the process of building my online course, and my course is called Extreme Killer 3D Writing Course. So I teach how to write from the perspective of, you know, just being a real character. You know, a lot of times you might read a book or see a play or watch a movie, and some of the characters just feel flat. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they don't come across as, not necessarily, not that they're not authentic, but they're not developed enough for you to feel any kind of connection. There's no draw. You know, it's like when you have like a Superman movie and then they change to another Superman, you remember the dynamics of what you liked about the original one, because
Mm-hmm.
maybe he was more human, maybe he was more um, just vibrant, you know, something
Yeah.
about it. And that's what happened with all the Spider-Man movies. Everyone,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we come from the era of Tobey Maguire, you know, so it was like we loved him. But then the one that came after him, I wasn't really feeling him too much. And then he ended up being changed out for the new one, Holland, I think, and we love him. So we pick out what we like and what we enjoy about people and characters and books, you know. And one other comparison is like The Hobbit. My mom read The Hobbit when she was a teenager, but it wasn't until I saw the movies, Lord of the Rings, that I felt a connection, because there was so much intensity in the lead actor's, you know, his just acting ability. you know, that Elijah Woods, so that
Mm-hmm.
it drew me. So I may have enjoyed the book if I read it, which I didn't, but the movie, I was drawn to it. And people laugh because the Lord of the Rings movies are like 4 or 5 hours. You know,
It is a long movie,
they're long. You know, if you have
but
stuff
it
to
does
do,
have some good spots. It's some good,
it
you know,
really
clips
does.
that's impactful. It's very impactful. I don't mind a long movie, as long as it's gonna keep my attention.
If it's
I'm good.
good, yeah. If it's like watching paint dry, who needs it? You know, I don't
Right.
want that.
Exactly. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Now,
So, mhm.
have you also thought about, because you said you do that, and I don't know, just in my mind, I was just thinking about, like you said, right now, this is the era this is the trend that everyone is online. Everyone is learning online. They're getting, and you're saying, and that's what one of the things that you provide. But also, since you also do theater, and have you ever thought about, like creating, something together and putting that, like, I don't want to say like your own stream or something, yeah, maybe a stream, like maybe a Netflix or something. No one ever thought Netflix. People thought Netflix was, now look at Netflix. I think they're $1 trillion. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. But I was just wondering, have you ever thought about putting something together, even on a stream, where people can not just read and about it. I don't know how you have it though, so I don't know.
So I think that what you're asking is, have I ever thought of having like my own streaming platform where
Yes.
I could preview my own, work?
Yes.
I've thought about it. I think that there are so many avenues. Right now, there's YouTube, so that's a platform, and some people try to work it where they have enough viewers or followers that they're able to monetize it. But I've thought about that because I've done television. I did television for 3 years straight, and I love the vehicle. I love the platform. I love film, and that is like, that's it. I absolutely love film, and I love books. I can read a book. Like, if you told me, okay, you have to sit here and read a book for 12 hours, I'll be so happy. You mean I have to do anything else but read this book? Oh, that is a blessing. And I'm a movie buff. So for me to have a platform where I can showcase things that I feel would bring value to people would be perfect. I love it. I love it. And I work with amazing people. So there is a platform that I'm entertaining, checking out and signing up for a subscription, because it's all African movies. So I was kind of excited about that. So I want to have some
I
platforms.
think I might know. I think they're fairly new, and I think I may
Which
know what
one?
you're talking about. Max, Black Max Media. No, okay.
No, that's another one. So I need to write that down.
Yeah, and I think that they're like, even like they're looking, and there's they're getting ready to come out, and of course it had to be postponed for a minute, but I heard that they are really getting ready to come out and do some things. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I would love that information, because for me, it's all about having the opportunity to showcase, and it doesn't matter the platform, as long as people can see it, can view it, can enjoy it, can critique it. It's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I thought this was good, but if you did this, make sure your audio is good, make sure your lighting is good. That's fine. That's fine, because there are millions of shows out there that I've never heard of, and I may never see them, but they're there to service that demographic. So yes.
That's right. Now you're in Jersey or Connecticut? Yeah. New York. Okay. I get confused so much. But so you're in New York. So oh yeah. Remember you called me. Was that back? When was that? Was that this time? Was that a whole year ago when you called me and you asked me about?
Yes, I was doing a huge event last October, which it wasn't my last event, but it was my last I did a black tie event called the what was the name of it? The Creative Life Institute Awards ceremony.
Yeah.
It was a huge, huge award ceremony. We had Dr. George C. Frazier, who coined the phrase "connect the dots," and we had people that flew in from different places. So we had a power couple, we had Millennial 2019, we had Women to Watch 2020, Men to Watch 2020. So I gave out 20 awards that night, and some of it was filmed in gorgeous venue, black tie. Everything was perfect down to the food. Because sometimes, you know, you go to an amazing venue and the food is just like,
okay, tastes like wood.
ooh,
Oh,
but everything was good. I could not complain about anything. The only thing is I felt like the night wasn't long enough because everyone looked great. And we had some amazing, all business owners, all entrepreneurs, all women and men who really were on top of their game. And I was recognizing them because I believe in giving honor to whom honor is due.
absolutely.
So you missed it, but I wanted you there.
I know that was, and just that you even thought of me was beyond any, you know, again, grateful, you know, that you even thought about me. So that was beautiful. And I'm just so happy that it turned out wonderful because with a woman such as yourself, you know, you're so classy. You have, no, honestly, you know, we have to acknowledge these things and we have to take those great attributes. Did I say that right? Attributes,
yes,
yeah. I have to check myself sometimes. I'm trying to say words that I don't never use. But anyway, no, honestly though, you're a classy lady, woman, and we have to take the best qualities from each other, you know, from our peers, from people that we know, from, you know, not just from our family and growing up, as we age and we get older, we must still take these values that you see in someone else and try to incorporate that in your own, who you are, you know, put your own, who you are in it, but take those qualities. And so that's one thing that I just love about you because you're so diverse. Well, you're diverse because look, when I first met you, you were doing the plays. And then I know one time, like you said, I remember talking to you, you was like, girl, I just got this award. I'm in North Carolina. And you were ecstatic. And I think you were talking about something in Texas or something. It was something else going on. And then you evolved and now you have this and your babies are grown and they're out, they don't even live there. They're out in California now. And so those are all things that when you tell someone that, and then like me, I can, everything you telling me, I'm regurgitating to my family members, to my daughters. Hey, stay on the grind, stay on the pot, do what you've been doing, but now put just a tad bit more effort into it, because you look up, you're already at the top of your game, but never not be at the top. Always think that you can do better every day. You know, I work in a classroom with students, and I have a young boy who told me this morning, well, he does have behaviors, but he's a sweetheart and he's not disrespectful. And that's just it's so amusing to me that he has this so-called disability of behaviors, but he is very respectful. So that means he was, at the end of the day, he was taught to say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you. You know, so it's really sweet. But so today he told me, he said, I'm having a really bad day. Now it was like 1 o'clock.
Wow.
And I said, well, don't worry about today. I said, listen, you and I, our period is over. You're getting ready to go to wherever else he had to go to. I said, so just know it doesn't, you know, every day's a new day, but today's not over.
Right. That's right.
You know, so when you're done with me, hey, that next class you got to go in bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like you're ready. Don't go in like, oh, woe is me, something happened this morning. That's a domino effect. We don't want that. We want to change the momentum, you know.
Right.
So
that is true. And that was such good advice to give him, because he can always reflect back on what you've said if he feels himself slipping back into that, because people do that. They may have 5 minutes that is unagreeable to who they are and what they want, and they label the whole day bad. And that's not true. You could have had 5 minutes where things just weren't, you know, they weren't going your way, and they allow the rest of the day to be sour. And you really have to be able to take control of that. You have to be able to say, it's either a good day or a learning day. Because if it becomes a bad day, some people don't know how to break out of that. They don't know how to find that peace again. You know, they don't know how to do that. And you know, actors are so funny, because actors are guilty of that. There are people who will prepare months for a role, and when they really get into that, it's hard to come out of that. And I'm going back old school. One of the actors that I really loved back in the day, he had a reputation for doing that, and that was Jerry Lewis. As comedic as he was, he was the type of person where his kids would go running when he came home because they didn't know who they were going to meet. Was he going to be in character still and kind of disrupt their evening because maybe the character needed to be really, really like upset? Or was he going to be that happy-go-lucky actor, you know, comedic actor that we saw in Some Like It Hot? You know, I'm going all the way back. But then, you know, then we had Tupac, same thing. He could not separate from being that character when he played Bishop, you know, in Boys in the Hood. He couldn't separate it. And a lot of times when you can't do that, you bring more pain to the people who have to be around you when it's supposed to be your downtime, as opposed to the people who are on set, who are used to that and can detox from that.
Right.
And another person that was doing that, and, you know, rest in peace, was Heath Ledger. He could not separate being the Joker with now being himself.
Yeah.
And it drove him to that dark place. And I think that Denzel was the one who said it right. He said that you have to be able to take time away from the character once you've played them to now detox, because they really embody these characters.
Yes.
And I found with actors.
Didn't he commit suicide?
Heath Ledger, yeah.
Yes. Okay. I just almost forgot.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and that's why they came out with the movie Joker. But for the most part, he really embodied that role, and it became his own personal demon. He could not separate himself from the role, and many actors deal with that because it's just so real to them that it just, you know, there's no way of breaking it. And if it's a character that's happy-go-lucky, loving, kind protagonist, they're, you know, the lead, and they're really, you know, doing great things, it's a little bit easier. They may still be in the role after the role in the movie, the TV show's over, but it's different when you play those dark characters. It's really, really different.
I didn't know that about Jerry Lewis. I did not know that he would bring it home with him. That's interesting. Wow.
He would, yeah.
But yeah, so first I want to know, my viewers, I want them to be able to contact you. How can they contact you?
Okay, well, the best way to contact me is through my email, which I can drop in there. You can shoot me an email. You can follow me on any of my Instagram pages at the Monique Lisa. And that's my page. That's my page where I just kind of have fun and share a lot of great information. But if they want to contact me in reference to the writing course, that's at extreme_killer_online_courses. And the reason why I had to do it like that is because it's so long, but we can drop that in the information as well. So I have my online courses. I have my page where I interact with people. I share a lot of tips and tricks to get rid of writer's block, and just really, you know, things that will encourage people. I'm a big encourager. You know, I love to inspire people. I love to encourage them, especially parents. I love to help parents with children that they may feel they need a little bit more extra help with because of behavioral things. And I tell people it's not so much that someone's disabled. They're just differently abled. You know, they're able differently, and they do things in the way that makes sense for them. So they're not disabled because it's not like they can't function. They're just differently able.
Just different.
You know,
I love that. See, every time I have a conversation with you, I go away. Wait, I already wrote down one. You said it's not a bad day; it's a learning day. You know, like I'm like, yeah. You know. So I always take something of value away, just in a 30-minute conversation. You know, so that's so beautiful, and I really hope that some parents that's watching, that you may have teenagers, and your teenagers want to get involved in any of the arena that we've already spoken about, to contact Monique Lisa, and make sure that you have, you know, get some information from her, all the things that you know, and we do have your link attached. So I want them to click on your link and to go in depth and see what you're about and see if they can connect with you. Like you said, right now, everything is online. All learning how to do things are online. Everything's online now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this is
This is true.
this is the best opportunity, especially if you're, you know, if you're upperclassman, if you're junior or senior in high school, you're trying to figure out what I want to do. You know, when I graduate,
Right,
check you out. You know, check out
right.
what you're doing. I would love for parents to relate this to their students and check out what you're doing, so it will give them another avenue.
Right, right. This is true. And I think that when you have young people that are creative, and people think that talent has to do with the arts, and talent doesn't necessarily have to do with the arts or being gifted, because they are different. Gifted is what we're born with and we develop. Talent is what we are drawn to and develop. So you can have gifts and have talents, but the gift is innate. And if you develop the innate gift, that's going to be part of your legacy gift. That's going to be the gift that you give to the world, you know, but your talent is what's going to enable you to make money. You know, you're going to be able to make money from your talent, but your gift is really your legacy to the world and what you leave. What's your stamp? What's your indelible mark on this life? So for you, it would be your story. How does your story help someone? How does your story encourage someone? How do you lift someone up? How do you leave here knowing that you did what you were supposed to do and what was planned for you? So that's what your gift is for. Your talent. You know, if you have the talent to ride a unicycle, well, you can work in a circus. You know, you developed a way to not fall off a one-wheeled, instrument.
Right. What is it called? Unibike or something? I don't know.
Unicycle.
Yeah, unicycle. Right.
Yeah. So that's great. That's wonderful. But if your gift is compassion, then you're going to be able to use that everywhere you go. If your gift is communication, you can do anything. You can teach, you can preach, you can sing, because it's all communication. If your gift is intellect, then you can help to solve problems because you think about it. You know, so there's all, the things that are just in you innately, those are the things that are going to last throughout your life and beyond. Because if you're a painter, you may have tons of paintings that can be sold, but you can never now, once you're not here, paint another picture.
Right.
There'll be knockoffs, but that was your gift.
That was your gift. And that's why paintings become so expensive once that person is gone, because that was their fingerprint on this planet. That was their signature in this world.
That's right.
I just want to say thank you so much. And I also want to tell, just say to my viewers, thank you. I know you guys can be doing anything in the world, and that you come in and that you listen to my conversations that I have with wonderful people like Monique Lisa. That is such an honor to me. And I just want to say thank you to all the viewers that listen in. And I just want to also, again, reiterate, thank you, Monique Lisa, for coming on our show. Not just my show, National Parents Union is something that many people can join. So I always tell my listeners, you can come, join, check out National Parents Union. We always have your back when it comes to our children, because when it comes to our kids, there's no negotiating. We have to understand our rights as parents, that we know our children can succeed to the highest level, and we shouldn't have to take second runner up when it comes to our children's education. So always, link up, check out National Parents Union, become a member. It's free. You get updates, you'll get things that's going on a national level and local level. I'm a delegate. I love what I do. I love interviewing people and getting all this great information. I know I work during the day at the school, but boy, when it comes to me doing this in the evening, I feed off of it. I really love it. Something altogether new.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I feel honored. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Now, any last words? Say it, whatever you want to talk about.
What I would say, my takeaway would be, make sure that whatever you're doing as an individual, it's something that really sparks a fire in you. A lot of times people go through life and they do things that just don't really bring them any joy. Even if you can't do it to the full extent that you want, and it's just a hobby, find something that you love to do. Find something you love to do with your kids. Find something you love to do with your spouse. Find something you love to do alone, and let that bring you that inner peace and that inner joy, because you only live once. And if you're going to live once, you might as well enjoy it.
Right. I heard one DJ say, it's always about that dash, because you have the date you were born and that dash. It's all about that dash. Because when you get that second date or that second year, it's a wrap. So
that's right.
what you're doing with that dash is what counts. So thank you so much, Monique.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I want you back on very
Awesome.
soon. We could talk about more great information that you have.
Yes, sure. Sure. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, you're out.
Okay, thank you, Jada, so much.